Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't moved a lot after the rally that we've seen. So Bitcoin got stuck at this upper boundary line of this ascending trend channel. Therefore, we only want to take a look here at the shorter time frame wave count and talk about the relevant levels that are important for the next few days, the parameters that we need to keep in mind. For anybody who is new on this channel, the idea is that either Bitcoin is still in a wave 4, that is the white wave count, the white wave structure. In this case, we have this A wave down, overshooting B wave, C wave down to follow, or the wave 4 is already finished. This, however, is not very clear at this stage, so we really have to be flexible. It's dynamic, the situation, because there are several issues. I'm going to talk about them. But the wave 4 could have been finished. Obviously, we could be in this wave 5. The idea, however, is that in both scenarios, they're both basically just two different pathways to the same target, that we still would like to see one more high to 50K plus before we get to the next major decision point and before we could get a deeper pullback. Let's see if we get it. There has been this run-up, obviously, and in the last few days and last few weeks, we've seen that Bitcoin has not acted on any of the, or has not really taken any of the bearish setups that were available, short-term bearish only, yeah, in an overall bullish market. So we only talked about, in terms of bearish setup, just this C wave to the downside into support. But Bitcoin hasn't really acted on any of the available bearish scenarios or setups. And then eventually we've seen this rally to the upside. So unfortunately, the structure doesn't leave me with a very clear bullish path. It has to be a diagonal. That's always not really desirable because diagonals, they can easily be a correction. That's why we could also say we have this overshooting B wave. In simple terms, an overshooting B wave it's a fake out. B waves are the most difficult waves to trade. And remember what I highlighted to you weeks ago when we enter this correction. It could be a long correction. It could take into the new year, and it can be a frustrating one. And we could see fake outs to the upside, even overshooting B waves. And all of that has come true. What we need to be mindful of, though, is that it's not very clear that this wave 4 is already finished. That's unclear. So I tell you which levels we need to watch out for in the next few days. Overall, the assumption is and has been that against the $34,060 level, I have, one second, I think it shifted slightly. For some reason, I might need to check why. If not, I will adjust it later. Yeah, I probably have to adjust it later. Something shifted here. But anyway, it doesn't make a great difference. So the idea is that against that $34,100 level, the focus can be on higher because this is really the significant support level. We have to give it that entire space here as breathing space for this wave 4. However, I would argue that we don't need to come, well, I wouldn't even expect the price to come down to 34K. But I would have thought maybe, the $39,300 level here, the 23.6 FIB level is still it's still a realistic target. I mean, again, this can easily be a high B wave, so we just need to be very mindful of that. But let's talk about the two options. So the short-term bullish scenario, obviously, it is this diagonal pattern to the upside in which the wave 4 already finished here on the 11th of December. Then this is a wave 1. This is a wave 2. We have an A, B, C in wave 3. This is a wave 4. And one more high to come in wave 5. And if that takes us to 50K or not quite, we'll see. It doesn't need to, because this could obviously just be the first 5-wave move of an even larger 5-wave pattern. We take it level by level in this situation. But what we need those 5 waves, and Bitcoin needs to give us another 4 and 5. To confirm that really this larger degree 4th wave finished on the 11th of December. Until then, the situation is highly uncertain. But there is a clear level that we can use because as long as the $42,509 level is holding, we could look to the upside directly in the white scenario. Below that level, it becomes clear that the yellow scenario is playing out, which means just a reset of wave 4 and just that this C wave is playing out that we've been watching for in the last couple of weeks. So, but that's just noise, as I said, throughout the last couple of weeks. That is really noise, because really what is important in the bigger picture, given, the situation we're in with a very difficult fourth wave, is, the main question is, and really what really matters, is that this 50% retracement level is holding. That's really important, because then we can still get our one more high, regardless of what happens here in the short term, right? Short-term corrections are always dynamic, in crypto especially. So you have these frequent adjustments that are needed and so on. Completely normal. Yeah, so, okay, has the wave 4 started or not? That's a bit difficult to say. I would argue we could still see another high in wave C. At least be prepared for that. This would not yet be all of wave 4. No. So I see a potentially higher high still in wave C. Maybe one more high. Okay, to 46,480 or 47,255. Yeah, it doesn't need it, but it's possible, especially as long as we are holding above that green line here, the A wave top. If we break back below that green line, that previous breakout point, then I would argue we are in the wave 4, which wouldn't be a problem. This is then where we get the decision if we get a fifth wave to the upside or not, which will be very relevant for the next few days. Yeah, this is my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.